Hello, everybody. This is Bullet. With me joining today for the podcast is going to be none other than Baba and Blackjack, our usual guest for the day. But we have someone special, very, very special from the scene, from the Rainbow Six
Mm.
HA scene. Someone very special and still minor. That's going to be Rudransh Mehra, aka
Nice.
CCV. And yep, welcome everybody. I tried the Bodhi SN, but I'm pretty bad at it. So, welcome everybody.
Mm. Hey everyone.
Hello.
So yeah,
Ah,
so
episode 4.
yeah,
Ah,
this is gonna be episode 4. Yeah, I'm very happy about it. We are like halfway there for completing till the 10th mark, but this is something that I wanna keep doing until 1000, if the
oh
game is
wow.
still alive.
1,000
If we
podcast
are still
episodes, yeah.
alive.
Oh yeah.
And I will be alive because I'm minor, but
I mean, yeah, you are
Wow.
like you're what, at least like nearly 7 years younger than me now. I just realized.
that's still not the. I've casted with someone who was almost my dad's age once. It
No,
was Siege. Yeah.
In
really?
Like so
Siege?
I was 15. It was a European tournament. I was 15
Okay.
Oh, okay.
and he was like 43, 44. That was fun. Yeah.
Yeesh. Okay.
Sheesh.
Damn.
So for the topic for today, just for the people who are joining on the stream, we'll be discussing about the tech community event because three of them have casters together. We will discussing about the community event and then lastly held the qualifiers, like the qualifier stage of the Tech Pro series. And the second part
Hmm.
will be of Operation Rectangular. I will tell something about it because
Yeah.
I have played a little bit of it, not that much. I
Oh.
have played a little bit of it. Yeah, I got the access. I have played a little bit of
Mm.
it, touchy here and there. And lastly but not the least, if you guys are up on Twitter, which most of the R6SA community is there, we just got the news that new licensing tournament licensing platform has
Oh
just been
yes.
announced, which I personally really feel would be really great for our scene. So yeah, let's
Right.
start with the Rainbow Six Community Cup event. Baba Blackjack CCV, the mic is yours. Please go ahead.
Well, I'll be honest with you. The Community Cup and overall, like the way things have started at the very least, right? It's pretty good. Like obviously, a lot of it is standard to be expected stuff, right? But the fact that it's gone off mostly without a hit so far, given that it's starting up after so long in the region again, that in
Yeah.
and of itself, I feel like is at least worth celebrating to at least a little bit. Let's not get ahead of ourselves just yet.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But it's definitely a good start, and I definitely want to see how the top 8 goes. That's starting day after tomorrow as well. So yeah, I'm pretty excited, I'd say.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the thing for the Community Cup. I mean, as far as I remember, the thing was a lot of people registered. We had
Oh yeah.
a lot of players and a lot
I
of
saw it.
teams.
Yeah.
So that was very good. Unfortunately, we didn't get the same for the Pro Series, which doesn't make
Hmm.
sense to me as to how, like, why you're registering for the community and then not doing for the official one. But then again, it's all about retaining the players that are already participating actively,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
just the pro teams. The pro teams, obviously, they are in contracts. The organizations are there. Apart from that, it's the amateur teams. And the one of my favorite things is looking at the qualifiers and even the community cup. There have been a lot of these amateur teams or like new teams, players which I haven't heard of in the
Hmm.
past year or so
Same here.
popping up
Same here.
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Yeah.
doing solid. I mean, I was looking at the brackets and you had like I remember a couple of names. Obviously, you had Exolic, a team who has been like making a name. Like I remember the team name from SCR6 Discord. You have
Hmm.
Phalanx, you have
Hmm.
Shaheens, who obviously have really good players, but like again, the team name
The
is
team names
new,
are
so they're
new.
just
Yeah.
so they're just trying to rebuild everything. I guess that's what the region is trying to do as well, rebuild itself after the staleness.
I mean, it's been a while, and yeah, just getting that rebuilding started on the go, as it were. Yeah, I do like how it's at least begun here and now. Like you said, some of the old names are coming back, and we did see, your sheets earlier today as well. Those on Twitter, they will have seen it as well. I believe
Contents.
who was it? So I think it was Music J who called you the Indian Dev Marta.
Devmart. And Devmart
Okay,
also replied. Devmart also
oh, he
replied
did.
on the
I
link. Yeah.
oh Oh,
Yeah,
I
Hmm.
hadn't followed up in the replies later on, but yeah,
yeah.
that's nice. But it's really just it was a little bit slightly saddening to see the sheer number of names that we used to have. Right, a lot of whom have since gone, and some when the SAR when the Pro Series announcements came out, a lot of them were like. Could we go back? Could we? And it's like they sort of floated the question. I don't think a lot of them really will. Maybe a couple of them might come back. I don't really know. It all depends on how we move on from Pro Series 1 to the summer edition, I think it's called. I kind of already forgot.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Summer, fall, winter.
Summer, fall, and winter.
Summer, fall, winter. Right. So yeah, however we go into the next like edition 2 basically, from 1 to 2, that transition is going to be really important, right? Because
Because of the
sure,
points.
yeah, a lot of the top 8 right is a lot of the top 8 are the familiar teams that we know, mercenaries, Kira, hunters, LFO, so on and so forth. Some of the old names in Shaheens and retrograde, they're all there as well. But failing Shift W, they've managed to make their way up here as well. Shift W, of
Yeah.
course, some of those names once again very familiar,
Very
Kuntal
familiar. Mm.
and Lame Jokes and so on and so forth. But they've been trying for a while, and their match against Sunset Ninjas the other day, that was actually really nice. That the closest game we had, an 8-6. Would you believe it? But all things considered, I would love to see more of that. I'd love to see more new teams come up to the competition, Like, don't get me wrong, all respect to the boys at Hunters, at Shaheen's Retrograde, Mercenaries, Kira. They've grinded it so hard to stay at the top, even when the region really wasn't having much in the way of
Hmm.
competition. But
True.
at some point, you also have to say, there is a need for some new names in here. So I'm looking at Phalanx, I'm looking at Shift W, and I'm really like looking forward to seeing what they bring to the table here.
What about you, Baba?
Well, I mean, most of it was what I was trying to say was has already been said from CCV and Jack's side. So talking about this entire scene here, from Community Cup towards the Pro League, like CCV said, in the community side, we had a lot of players registering for the tournament because we also had both individual as well as squad.
Yeah,
But
the
since
yeah they
this is
did.
Pro Series, and since there was a bit difficulties, it was. I was trying to say something, but then it's just immediately just lashed out of my mind. But
My man's has been
but
chilling over there this whole time. He's losing his train of thought far easier than I think we
I
thought
mean,
he
here's the
would.
thing. I'm just yeah, yeah,
Okay,
like
let me throw another question to you guys.
yeah,
How did
yeah.
it
Sure.
feel to cast Siege
Uh,
after such a while?
Oh
Cause,
yeah.
cause I'm still waiting for my chance, but nonetheless, like, how did you guys feel? Because I know CC, Baba and Blackjack, of course, you guys, you have been the, like, I would say the duo for the casting duo for our region. Not gonna lie, I have been watching you since Foxy was there at the desk, even Assassin Bhai was there at the desk. So you guys are from that time. So how did you personally feel? Okay, man, it's Siege, it's our game. Because I feel the personally the same way whenever I go, whenever I try to like I get the chance to cast Siege. So how did it feel like? Oh my God, such after such a long break, finally, it's Siege for us.
I mean,
Please
yeah. Go
God,
ahead. Go
please.
ahead.
yeah, no, go,
Yeah, no,
go, yeah.
you go ahead. You go ahead. I mean, since you started the conversation, yeah, you go ahead. I'll say the last. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, all right.
Mm.
But no, I have to say, like, I'm I'm just really happy to be back in,
True,
siege
true.
casting again. Like you said, it's been a damn while. Like me and Baba, before we were approached for the Pro Series, we were just having a conversation, like literally the day before we were approached, and we were talking about how we were doing the Valorant tournament for Critical X, right, over on Loco as well, that one. And it was nice, getting into Valorant. The game is pretty interesting, all things considered. We just don't play it much because we don't have people to play it with. Who knows? We might find some later on. But when we were just talking about how to get better at it and whatnot, there was still like a couple months left to go on that, and just somewhere in the conversation it just came out that it'd be great to just do Siege again. Like we love Valorant, we love casting
Hmm.
Valorant. The game's great. The game's really fun to watch and cast. But there's just something about having started with Siege and the overall uniqueness of the game. Sure, it's gotten a little bit more hero shooter type over the last couple of years now, but even then, there's just that distinct flavor you get with Siege and casting it like that, at that level, South Asia Nationals level, but still, it's just really something else. And to be able to come back to it, massive props to the esports club for having us back. And me, Baba, we're super grateful for it. And I'm also kind of happy to have CCV back with us as well. The only time I
Yeah.
casted with him was back in the Nationals 2020, so it's been a while.
One
I
map.
think it
It
was
was cafe.
one map. Yeah.
One
I mean, it
map
was one map from
cafe.
you and one map from me. So
Yeah.
it was on
No, no,
Serene, right? Yeah.
with Baba, I remember. No, with Baba, I've done like one solid best of three or like two best of threes. With
Mm,
Blackjack, it was
Yeah,
one map, cafe, some two teams. I don't know. That was it.
Mm.
yeah. I still remember I was making a joke about Thor, and then suddenly you said, "No, I don't watch the Avengers." Then I
I
started
don't.
watching.
I
yeah. I remember back in the Mumbai hotel. We
Yeah,
were just trying to
yeah.
get familiar, and we were discussing something, and the movies came in. And I don't know.
Mm.
We were talking about Spider-Man, but as far as I remember, yeah, we were talking about Spider-Man, and just sorry, he said, okay, I don't follow MCU. I'm like, I also don't follow MCU. I just follow Spider-Man.
I
Hey, man.
saw the newest Doctor Strange movie.
Oh, you
I
did.
was like, yeah, because
No
my friends were
spoilers,
like,
please.
Oh.
brother, I'm the worst person to give. I didn't like, I don't know what was the good, what meant a lot, what didn't mean a lot. I was like, okay. But anyways, yeah. But coming back to the question, well, casting
Yeah.
Siege, I
Yeah.
got into the depths of Valorant. I mean,
Yeah. It's
yes,
just literally back
yes.
then.
You know, ever since like June last year, I have been. I will have a Siege LED one day when the
This is
website
not
starts anyway.
LED.
And
Yeah,
I will
let's
have
hope I
LED.
get one someday because I'm just currently
I mean,
trying.
I could just green screen one in if I had a proper camera. I'll be honest with you.
Man,
No,
to be
but
honest, this isn't even CGI. This is actually my entire dad's collection of books.
yes.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I would be very impressed if that one
This,
actually was CGI though.
Imagine if it was.
Oh my goodness.
Uh, yeah,
please
go
go
ahead.
ahead,
Um,
CCV.
No, yeah, it was like after doing a lot of Valorant, there are things I don't miss of Siege, particularly
Mm.
the 55-minute long
Oh my.
duos. Uh, I think we experienced those on the qualifier day and during the community cup
Yeah.
as well.
Hmm.
And I when I was there in the community cup, I remember having the conversation with the production staff and all like, welcome back to Siege,
Hmm.
congratulations.
Yep.
But then there are things in Valorant that you just that I mean they are not the things in Valorant. For example, the community. Sure, SAR6 community is like smaller, a lot smaller than Valorant, but
Of
it's a
course.
lot more known. Like you know everyone.
Yeah.
Valorant is a lot commercialized, and I'm seeing this as a caster who has done events for companies in I don't know lakhs price pools. Bullet, you also know this with like Free Fire and all. Those games are very commercialized. You can't
Mm.
like ads sponsors, and then community interactions as well. It's very formal. Siege is still a lot more chill because everyone knows everyone. You
Yeah.
won't
True.
have random people in the chat abusing you. I mean, once or twice, sure. But with Valorant, it's like every other day.
It's
Oh,
fine. Nobody
every other
cares.
day, boy. Every other day.
Yeah, same
So,
same for me. It's
Yeah.
like yeah, you
mm.
can just come and hate on the casters. Like I remember
On
this
the
happened.
players, on the tournament
Everybody
organizers,
have
on,
everybody.
on themselves, bro.
E- Everybody, we today had a guest caster for the day of Free Fire. He's a very known guy when it comes to Free Fire. And
Okay.
every third, every fourth commenter was today like, why this guy is just here? He can't play, so he's casting. It's just like the same state. Just today, Pengu is now into professional casting. It's just
Mm.
kind of the same scenario going on with him. I talked to about it on off camera. I hope I don't get in trouble for this talking about it. Yeah, he said the same thing that he want to get into casting right now. And I totally
Hmm.
loved about it because a professional player coming into casting, he definitely will have more knowledge about how the competitive scenario goes on. He will
Oh
definitely
yeah.
Yeah.
have more knowledge about it. Nobody can deny this fact. So yeah, like people will hate, man, and in Free Fire, in mobile games, they are much bigger, like 12-year-old, the 13-year-olds would never understand esports. They just think that, hey, my fan favorite team will win today. Yeah, that's bullshit.
Well, it is what it is at the end of the
Yeah,
day. It's
true.
kind of when you look at the the chat side of things for mobile games, say Valorant, for mobile games or Valorant, I should say. Valorant Mobile isn't out yet, but when you look at it, it kind of reminds me of how it used to be. Not even but like several years ago, over in the global esports scene as well. Where people really didn't understand what it was to be a caster. People really
True.
didn't know what the roles were. before it really started getting popular. For me, of course, I saw it happen in the Siege community in that 2019 2020
LAN.
era. Yeah, when LAN started really becoming a thing and people started actually seeing what desk hosts did, what analysts did, what the casters did, and what their actual job was, the respect for them in the community just shot up, right? And it happens with pretty much every community at some point where someone who's big, well known in the community starts to speak out, or a number of people start speaking out at the same time, and they kind of start, it just hits them, that, oh wait, I was mad at the wrong people. At least I hope that that's what can happen as well. But for this country, I feel like that's still a fair ways off.
Yeah. Awkward silence. Baba, please go on.
I mean, to be honest, for this entire scene, it just needs some time. I mean, yeah,
How much time? Yeah,
I
how
mean,
much
time.
time?
Look, it's still on a growing up
Are you
phase.
Yeah,
talking
Right?
yeah,
It
yeah.
about
just needs.
SA Siege
Mhm.
or
SSCs.
Indian esports
No,
or
no, I'm talking about Siege SAC, and I'm
Siege,
not talking about the
SSCs.
oh,
entire Valorant. I mean, Valorant. I mean, it's already being big. I mean, you have Vector Sports. So not. I'm sorry, not Vector
There's
Sports.
one there's
Velocity
one point.
Gaming.
Yeah,
I'm,
there's
I,
one
was- I
point
was
I
trying to say.
wanna there's just one point I wanna add. Just like
Hmm.
like CCP point out Indian esports. Like when it comes to Indian whole esports, there are many titles out there like which has grown so much big. If something like ऐसा कुछ छोटा मोटा problem होता है तो कुछ होगा भी नहीं bro. People are like professional players are making money, the casters are making money, the TOs are making money. That doesn't matter. But when it comes to Siege, it's still very at the grassroots level. So yeah, so that was the case. Like, if something goes wrong in here, like whole impression about it will become very unfair in a public. Like like when somebody will just take a look from someone from international scene, what's happening in the essay. Let's check it out, and somebody will just notice about, oh, this random TO is doing some bullshit, or this caster is doing some bullshit out there. So yeah, it will matter when it comes to Rainbow Six Siege SA. But if you just compare it to out there to any esports title out there, who is like popular in India, like take any, it doesn't that matter that bit, right? Like because there are hundreds of tournaments happening every single week compared to what in Siege right now we have like what
Hmm.
two by only tech. So yeah, please
yeah.
Baba continue.
Yeah, I was just trying to say, like, when it comes to Valorant, you have teams like Velocity Gaming. Again, sorry about that. Velocity Gaming, Global Esports. You still have Enigma Gaming. These are well-known teams. These are well-known organizations who still, takes care of the entire Valorant scene, and trying to see the way how Rainbow Six Siege ecosystem works. It's a bit difficult. I mean, at the starting of the entire pro series, we saw names which has no orgs behind it. I mean, you have Monkey Hunters. I mean, sure, you still have MRCZ, you still have Kira Esports, and currently this entire pro series we've only seen two organizations. Other than that, we haven't seen other teams which has an org. But there is still a chance. I mean, if they perform well in the entire pro series, if they perform well in this entire league that TC has brought us, maybe there is still a chance that the orgs might look into it, see that, hey, maybe it's a good investment to take these teams and try to give them the
Good topic,
chance,
good
an
topic.
opportunity, so that
Yeah,
if they did get selected, or in the near future, whatever happens, if it booms very well, then who knows, maybe the scene might grow more. But for now, talking about this entire pro league, it always comes down to how they show themselves as a player, how they
true,
show as the
true,
performance. If they
true.
perform well in the scene, if they can show that they can make
They
mind
have
blowing
their
plays, if they
true.
can make good support, if they can make clutch situations, like we always love to see in most of tournaments, like in Siege, Valorant, or any other games you call it. If it works, it just gives the players a chance to showcase their talents. It can help them to grow their community reach even more, and also helps the entire Indian ecosystem, which could help and benefit all of us.
Yeah, true. I definitely agree with that part. Like, the teams like need to perform well on every aspect, not just like making plays. Like every aspect, you gotta be very honest and true to yourself for what you're doing, because you have been playing Siege since so long. And if you just be and a guy full of egoistic and like that kind of guy who don't like who doesn't want to be like a person, sorry मेरी English थोड़ी खराब है, अगर हिंदी में इसको explain करो, just the bura person. You don't want to be the bad guy, like just like that. Because like I said, if there's a bad guy in Valorant scene, if there's a bad guy in BGMI who's very, honest on camera, very, very, polite on camera, but off screen is a jackass, that won't matter. But in Siege, that will matter because the Siege hasn't grown up. Coming to the org part, I just wanna add one thing. We are in talks with an org. We are in talks, and maybe if that goes right, you will expect, and that
Good by
is
the
a
roster.
very, yeah, that is what roster.
Any roster.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
the team
I
team
won't
name
give
Bullet.
Arey man. I'm just the mediator over there. I'm just a mediator over
Ah,
there.
okay,
So
okay.
it is a very, very, I would say, an upcoming org who has invested in a lot of better teams out there when it comes to Valorant, when it comes to BGMI, when it comes to Free Fire. And I'm very happy that one of the, I'm not gonna say any name, nothing right now because that's very, very primitive stage. We are just in talks. We are just like giving them like, okay, this is a team. This is how they perform. And to be very honest, I just laid out to the org like we don't need that kind of monetary benefit. We need like if just one very known org comes in, I have a personal belief other orgs will also come in. By seeing them or just like looking up, okay, like if this org can invest in, why not we? And if their picked up roster can perform well, there are many rosters or many lineups like that who can really perform well if we provide that kind of backup and that kind of support. And when that comes in, like no, like we will be like हमसे ज्यादा खुश और कौन हो सकता है ब्रो. लाइक हमारा खुद का सीन बड़ा होगा, लाइक चाहे वो किसी बहुत बड़ी ऑक्स हो या फिर वो एक नॉन ऑक्स हो, लाइक जो अभी अपकमिंग नए नए टैलेंट्स उठा रही है. सो जस्ट लाइक दैट. There are things in talk, but I won't say anything about it because it's a very, very primitive stage right now.
No.
Yeah,
It's an
no,
Indian
like,
org. The chat,
yeah.
it is an Indian org. That's not Vitality Fanatic. No. इतना बड़ा links नहीं है हमारा.
अरे मैं क्या, but it's Bullet. It's Bullet. Bullet will get a team.
Might
It's
as
not.
well.
Bullet gets an org. Who knows?
Bullet is the org.
Esports.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bullet is the org.
Let's go back to the topic. Let's go back to the topic. We are drifting away. Yeah, I just gave a leak because man, see, being a siege guy, being a quantity, it makes me happy, man. If an org is interested to hire a lineup, why not be the
Yeah.
mediator on it? Okay, I know these guys from a long time. They have performed pretty well. Just linked up them both. What like इसमें क्या जा रहा है मेरा? Just like, okay, my contacts are getting used at the better side of for my own game, man. I love it.
Yeah, it's like when that one person takes that big step towards whatever, right? So like there's trouble in a neighborhood, and one house owner basically starts taking like a night watch or something. And a bad example, but let me make it clear. Then slowly but surely other house owners will come together. They'll start working for the betterment of the neighborhood, if you will.
True.
Or to take an example that I think all of us would be familiar with, when you've got a question paper and you finish the question paper in school, and then you're just waiting. Who's going to be the first one to submit their answer sheets? It's not me. Somebody's got to go first. You got to take one for the team. If that was only me, then I have just
Not
exposed myself.
relatable.
Uh,
Not relatable. I gave my
I
account, so
mean-
even nobody finished the last question.
oh,
I gave
wow.
away 8 marks out of 30.
Jesus. Okay.
Mm. I mean, me, if I'm writing exams, I'll just usually write whatever I know, and when it's the end, I'll be like, can I go now? And then the ma'am comes in and says, no, you just need to wait for another an hour or two because it's a
This
3 hour
happened.
exam,
I
and
remember
you just
that. Yeah.
completed in 1 hour. Bhai, it's just
This kind of
sometimes.
same
Yeah.
situation happened with me. I had my CC based, like you can just call it a like a semi finale kind of exam before the finale exam, right?
Preparatory
Yeah.
exams.
Yeah. I had my broadcast from 4 p.m. I had the exam for like what 9 to 11 p.m. and the game under the topic I'm pursuing game design. It was like the basic fundamental of game design and all that stuff. And the rules of play, and I guess that was, I don't know exactly, like, but I had a pretty good knowledge about it. I didn't even like prepare well for it. I went in, I had to like answer 5 questions out of 7. I nailed it. I knew I gonna secure good marks, and almost in 45 minutes I completed the paper. And then I said to the professor, which I'm not very a better guy in his eyes, and I just say, sir, this is my paper. I have to go. I have to prepare something. उस टाइम मैंने रिसेंटली अभी नए हॉस्टल छोड़ा था, अभी ये तब की बात
Right,
है, एंड आई
right.
जस्ट से लाइक आई हैव टू प्रिपेयर थिंग्स एंड सब कुछ ठीक करना है. लाइक आई सेड नो, आई वोंट अलाउ यू टू गो ना, ऐसा नहीं होने वाला. मैंने बोला ब्रो वेट, लेट मी कॉल अप द डायरेक्टर.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Bro, you won't believe
Uh,
the he is the only single person in the whole college, or may believe my some of my friends who really believe in my, okay, this guy's a caster, he's doing something for himself. Baki the people, they don't give a damn about it if we don't. I'm not doing a 9 to 5 job in a game dev studio. Nobody gives a damn. He's the only guy, to be very honest.
So after the exam, Bullet bought the college. Now he is getting an org. My God,
Oh
a
no.
paisa.
Oh
Who
wow.
knows? Maybe he'll just name his team Crazy Four.
Oh.
Oh,
That's
crazy
not
four
a
boy.
that's
Just
not
five
Actually,
man.
Crazy
that's not a
Five.
bad name.
Five
Crazy
makes
Five.
sense, you
Yeah,
know.
but
Yeah.
like
Crazy
it's
Five.
it's not a bad idea. I'll be honest with you, for a team name.
Yeah,
Any
who knows? He might
prospective
get
orbs looking
sponsorship
at this.
sponsorship from Hrithik Roshan himself.
Oh no. That'll be the day.
Oh boy, can't
By
wait
the
to
way,
see
Hrithik
that.
Roshan was there in Free Fire game, so yeah,
He
I
was,
Yeah.
might.
yeah. That'll be
I
Jokes
the
mean, there
day.
is a
aside, jokes.
Bullet,
chance
Bullet
that
has
can
connections
happen.
with Hrithik Roshan.
Ah,
I mean,
We are
there is a
seeing
chance
the entire
that can
network
happen.
of Bullet.
Oh no.
College, org.
Uh,
Bullet has gone to buy Rainbow Six, guys. He'll be back.
he'll be back in like 5 minutes with the receipts. He'll be a long piece of paper, and he's like, "Oh, there he is again."
No, there's
Welcome back.
Back.
there's nothing like that. I have many big contacts, just like for the team and stuff. Like the org and the whole team that contacted at the same time to be honest, in a just like a difference of day or two. And I say the same thing, like, okay, we can do this, let's do this. And yeah, like, why not, man? Like, why not? Okay, okay, मेरी team नहीं आने वाली है chat, and seriously, there is nothing like related to. I'm just the mediator. Coming to the college part, नहीं भाई मेरा खुद का college नहीं है. Like, I was just being very thankful to my director, sir, because he knows what is happening inside my life and how I'm handling stuff after the incident. So yeah, he's the like a very the guy who really supports, like, okay, तुम्हें अगर नहीं academics में उतना अच्छा कर, and मैं उतना अच्छा academics में नहीं हो तो okay, you are doing something for yourself, and in the same industry, it's the same industry, man. There is no issue, like esports and gaming go parallel, man. तो हाँ,
Yeah.
उनके तरफ से एक अच्छा support है. I was just being thankful to him. Yeah, coming back to your point, no drifting away right now. Baba, you were talking about the हम इस पॉडकास्ट में इस चीज के अलावा सब कुछ डिस्कस करते हैं, ट्रस्ट मी. इसलिए 2 घंटे जाता है ये.
No, let's
Damn.
just head back into the topic. Yeah, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, so like हाँ, एक चीज मेरे पे दिमाग में आया during the community event, like you guys said, like there were the teams who were like also like since the start we were also very good at the game. So how do you saw themselves performing to the newer, like do you see any newer teams with newer names? Like how did they perform with the older guys who are into like game much more?
Well, all things considered, Phalanx and Shift W are the only really like big new names that have come up so far, right? And
Fairly
even then, Phalanx and Shift W,
failings and shit.
and
Okay.
even then, like Shift W has a lot of OG players, right, in it. Players who've been playing since the very beginning. Yeah, I know you saw that chat message, the Tokyo Drift podcast. Yes, we drift off topic a lot. Thank you for pointing that out, Eisen. But regardless, yeah, no, Shiv W, they've been here for a while. It's just that the new position they've taken in this top 8 of at least this edition of the Pro Series, that I like from them. I know some of the players personally, right? Hell, Kuntal, I actually go to the same college as him. We're actually gonna finish our years respectively this year, this June. So yeah, like pretty chill scenes overall. I've never seen him in college past the first year. I mean, the pandemic happened, but we've been having like campus classes for a while now, and he just hasn't shown up. Yeah, I guess that's to be expected. It's college after all. But going back to the point, failings, I do think should be looked at least should be watched out for by the big teams. So don't get me wrong, they just got here, right? So there will obviously be a lot of nervousness going up against some of the big names of the region, some of the OGs of the region, and they might stumble, they might fall, they might go into the lower brackets. We don't really know yet, obviously, but I feel like them already being here is a story that newer teams and teams aspiring to come up and become their own like force to be reckoned with should, look into and should take heart in that if they can do it, why can't we, and
True.
put in all the work and all the practice required. They already are, but something clearly goes missing somewhere, right? Because the team ends up pulling ahead by leaps and bounds. Think how Hunters LFO has been at least top three of the region for a consistent 2.5 years now, and they've never really gone down below it. Sometimes maybe they've had like an off season, but nothing more so than that. And even then, they barely go down below the top four. They've never
What
been below that.
what
Uh,
about the teams like I just saw the playoff teams for the Pro Series. There are names like I know Science are a
hmm.
team of the older players. I know Mekan or Hunters also a old team. Shift W has Kuntal, like the guys who have like played it previously. What about Mahadi Esports and Retrograde?
Who's gonna take it?
Please, Baba, go on, man.
I mean, here's
Bubba.
the thing. This is the info I got from Music J, because
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I actually was in dire need of information about the entire scene. So I thought, how about I just go ahead and ask Music J, because he's, I mean,
Music
God
J, you
knows
Okay,
need
wait,
to
that
come
guy.
to the
wait.
That
podcast.
guy
Oh,
is
hold on,
a
hold on. I
great
have a
analyst,
question. I have a
undoubtedly.
question.
Yeah, go
So,
ahead.
if CCV is the Indian Dev Marda, right?
Hmm.
What does that make Music J?
He
Um,
writes in his Twitter. He's the hype
he's
man.
Music J.
He's Music
So
J.
he's
Yeah, he's
yes.
Music J.
He's just Music J. Nice.
Yeah, so according to what Music J has given me the info, in Team Mahadi Esports, you have both Sniper One Candy and Skushima Goat, in which last time I remember there
Sushima
used to
Goat.
be.
I also remember. Like
Yeah,
yeah,
so last time I
Sushima
remember
Goat.
he used to be in a team called as Demus Force. Now, Demus Force's
Demon's Force.
performance
Yeah.
Oh
way
yeah.
back in South APAC, I mean, in SA Nationals,
Nationals.
it was the same match where me and CCV casted the last final match where he saw Senpai Clutcher 1v2. He was playing as a Sophia, the deployable shield. That,
Oh,
yeah,
Villa.
Villa
yeah,
Villa.
Yes.
Villa. That was the match I was talking about. It was so good. I believe that was up against Team Extraordinaire, and I still remember the heartbreak that DF had to go through. Not once, not twice. Their performance,
Yeah.
it started to lack slowly when they gradually start to lose their confidence, their momentum. Next thing you know, it's just disbanded. You even had Poseidon on DF, and then Poseidon starts to shift to UG. I mean, UG, which is formerly known as Monkey Hunters as of now, but currently I haven't seen Poseidon around. He is an amazing player too.
Yeah,
He plays
if
Mira
we,
a
I
lot.
mean,
Yeah.
Demos was a team from Bangladesh. There was another team, Tiornate Valiants, who were
Oh
like quite
yeah. Valiants.
do
Yeah.
no,
Valiance.
I wouldn't say as dominant as like MRCZ or anything, but like still they were on par with the Demos at times. And I
Oh yeah.
remember
Yeah.
seeing their name, not always in the nationals, but in like a couple of the other tournaments I remember doing. I
Definitely
remember
top eight.
Valiants.
Yeah.
But all of those guys as well, I only remember one person, Archangel, and that's because I play F1 with them and I know him a little
Okay.
bit
Okay.
recently, but I don't remember a lot of the names coming back as well. So yeah, there has been a drop off in the teams. I still have the old team names. You know what? Screw it. As thoda sa for 5 minutes, Bullet. Why not? Let's drift off. I'll say old team names and let's go through what we remember from them. So obviously we went through UG,
Yeah.
MRCZ.
Yep. Yep.
There was a Pakistani team by the name of Ferrum Esports,
Ferrum
and
Yeah, I
Esports.
forgot
Bad.
Yeah,
about
Yeah.
Ferrum
it
Esports.
was.
Bad
Yeah,
I
takes
yeah,
me
I
yeah.
I
back.
remember it. Ferrum Esports. I
yeah,
remember.
Ferrum consisted of Envy, Mighty Ollie, Skywalker,
Mm-hmm.
Slayer, Boom, Illenium, who I remember
Mighty Ali, I
was
know.
from JTF. So this was like a full-on, like full five-star Pakistani team. And then you had Rhymes with Buck as well, who is currently playing in Shaheens.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, old team. Then we had Dauntless Esports. I
Ah,
remember
another
this
one.
name. And these guys were Avidvi,
Mhm.
Noctis is gone. You had Boom and Hussein. I think those guys have left as well. You had Zedox,
No, you still have Hussein.
popular guy.
Hussein is still
Hussein is
Hussein
there?
is active.
yeah,
Hussein
Hussein
is
is active.
Yeah.
active.
Yeah,
Hussein is
Oh, okay,
active.
my
Yeah.
bad,
he's
my
still
bad.
active. I we just did cast that match against him, right? It
Yeah,
was I believe
I
Shift.
remember. I remember
I think
Hussein.
he's in Phalanx. I think Hussein is in Phalanx.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. He was in Phalanx. Yeah, I remember. Yeah,
Yeah,
Phalanx was
he's
in
Team
Phalanx.
Phalanx. Hussein. Yeah,
Yep. Yep. Yep.
he's there.
Yeah,
Okay, okay. We have Bad Trip Esports, on my personal favorites. Oh my
mm.
god, this was like virtual
Wait.
five, then turn into Bad Trip.
Bad Trip Esports. That reminds me of the infamous Jackal Clash Kaid Clutch,
Yeah, yeah,
Oh
Cafe,
yeah.
my
On
Cafe
god.
Cafe, I
Kitchen.
remember that clip.
Second League.
Jesus.
Eisen
I
was
remember
talking
that
about
clip.
it in the chat as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my
Mhm.
god, Baba and I,
Man,
we lost our minds watching that
No,
one.
what?
I believe that it was you and Foxy
Uh,
who were casting
was
that
it me
match.
and
The
Foxy?
powers. Yeah, yeah,
I
it was
don't.
you and
Ah,
Foxy.
okay, okay, okay.
You and Foxy were there, like in the first 5 months. You and Foxy were casting, and then in the second month, I jumped in and say, "Hui wee," you know.
Hmm.
Mm.
Ah,
Then
yes.
oh, this one hits close to my heart. Everyone knows this team. It was Monka S. Oof,
Ah,
Ah,
ah, man.
man, going into
Monka S.
nationals,
Oh yeah.
playing against
You know,
Oceanic rosters.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
at that time, the entire Twitch chat was rooting for Monka S.
Yep,
They were
Just
yep.
rooting
for the
for
name alone.
Monka
For the
S.
name alone. Just
Just for the name alone.
the brazen the brazenness of just you go into an official tournament and you're not LFO, you're not looking for nothing. No, your name is just Monka S.
Monka S and the icon as well.
Oh
Yeah.
man, Jora used to be such an amazing
Who
Ah,
player,
was the
man.
yeah.
At
team? It
that time,
was Jora, it was Ishan,
Ishan,
and
Yeah.
Firefly.
It was Akatsuki, if I remember. That was Team Akatsuki,
No,
who
no, no, no,
later.
no.
no, 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 no.
Usse pehle.
This
There
was
was a Monka S.
like they changed the entire team to Monka S. I mean, back at that
Yeah,
time, Jora used to be with the
in
Sparkles
UG.
team. Yeah,
Yeah,
he used
yeah.
to be in
He
UG. Like there
played.
was a team.
He went to UG actually.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
there was a team called as Club G1,
Club
and I
G1
still remember.
Mammoth Gaming.
Yeah, Mammoth
That
from Mammoth Gaming, it was
Mammoth
Yeah,
Club
Gaming.
that's like
G1. In
way
Club
back.
G1, there
Yeah.
used to be the
That was
Hyderabad Cup.
Yeah,
Yeah,
This is
way, way
before
back.
me.
this
This
is
is
way back.
before
Yeah,
me. I was
This
this
is
is
born.
like
this
age
is
old.
this
This is
is this is
2019. I
back in
feel
the
such
time
a
when
boomer right now.
this is back in the time when
Jeez.
CCV was not but a wee little one, you know?
Yeah. Now I joined Siege
same
in
here for
like
me.
Jan 2020, like
Yeah.
Indian IR6 mainly.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, yeah.
By the way,
And I have
chat, Darkside and Joe, sorry.
Ah,
I was
yes.
there at Seva for content creation. I was there at Seva just
Saber
to
Esports.
Seva
Oh
Esports.
no.
By the
Mm.
way, the founder of Seva, the guy who
Mm.
was like handling the Indian operations, he's named Gravero. He's a very big
Okay.
lo-fi music artist right now.
Oh really?
Like,
Oh okay.
yeah, Gravero. Gravero is a massive guy right now, and like, I remember his lo-fi was shared by an artist named King, who is very
Oh.
yeah. There's an artist named King in the Desi hip
Yeah,
hop.
yeah,
Like he's
yeah,
a
yeah,
rapper.
yeah,
He
yeah,
was
yeah.
there's an MTV as well. He made a lo-fi of a very popular song "Tu Aake Dekh Le." Like Gravero,
Okay.
like he was a very honest guy. I don't know what was about Seva and all because I heard about the rumors like shit contracts and all of that. But yeah, he was a very honest guy to me at back when I was into content creation for Seva. Nothing really happened, but yeah, like he was the guys who were handling me Excalibur and especially Gravero. They were pretty honest. Like, I don't know what's the behind story back BTS story, but yeah, they were very honest to me about what was all going on. Again, the
No, but
Tokyo Drift happened.
Tokyo Drift
yeah.
moment. But no, like going back to the other drift that we were doing.
Mhm.
In chat, I believe it was Joyjati who put up Sunesha. That's another one that I don't like remembering the name Sunesha. I kind of get mixed feelings. I don't really know why. I don't get mixed
Sanish
feelings about any team as
Sanisha
of now,
had the
but
roster
Anisha was
where
old.
yeah.
Ariel was the coach, right? Or the
No,
player?
no, 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 no. It was Ariel. It was Hulky. Those are
Halki,
the
Yeah.
yeah.
only two I remember
Yeah.
because they're admins in SAR6 like me, so I know them.
Ah, yes.
The Wingman was there. Yeah, Wingman was there.
Mm-hmm.
Then you had was Wingman in Sunasia or did he
So
join
just
in
a
like
random
Bad
question.
Trip?
Sanisha was a Indian
It was an
founded
org,
org.
no Thailand.
So
It was a Thai org or like
Oh, okay,
org
okay.
from East Asia somewhere. As far as I
Mm-hmm.
remember, they had two rosters. One was the Indian roster that played the LAN and all. The
yeah.
other was I think it was Thai only. I'll have to like I mean I can't do it right now on podcast. But if I go into depths of conversations I've had, I will find pictures and all, and like of the rosters and the managers and stuff, like
Really
what
digging
the
in there, as
website.
it were.
Oh,
Yeah.
bro, yeah.
So if we come to the part when I was like still a guy who was doing console events, I remember Reckoning India was there.
Reckoning
Who
was
Yeah,
there.
is a
Reckoning was
very
there. Yes.
Sharang. Reckoning India was there. Sanisha was there. So these
Hmm.
are some of the orgs like proper
Even
org.
Vector Sports. A lot of people may
Mm.
not
Yeah.
know this. Even Vector
Vect
Sports, the one Sen played in, that was
Yeah, yeah,
actually
yeah.
owned by Global.
Global. Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
When
To be
Global was
honest,
starting.
To be honest,
Mm.
for me, Vector Sports was like the golden age for Siege because players like Beaver, players like Skipper, these
Hmm.
players who've been playing
Yeah,
Siege
skipper.
since the beta, they decides to make their own, team and starts conquering half of the, Indian players. It was just amazing to see the performance, and then
Hmm.
suddenly it's just, it was very sad for me to see them part ways. But I'm just glad that we get to see Vector Sports, who are very strong in the region. Then suddenly, next thing you know, there's an empty seat waiting to take control, and then Monkey Hunters decides, you know what, now it's our turn to shine, and
Back then
just
it was what,
sure, yeah,
CSBD. Yes.
Yeah.
yeah.
I've had history lessons from many people in Siege.
Wait,
CSBD,
uh,
CSBD is a off from
CSBD.
where?
Bangladesh. Is
Do
it
they
an
have
org
like
or
an
was it just a team?
just a clan or
I
cause
think it was just like a team or something. I don't know. But I remember the glory days. I
Ah,
remember they were very,
yes.
very well known.
can I say this on podcast because I remember CSBD team came in to one of my tourneys in the console
Hmm.
and they got
I
accused
don't
of
remember that.
yeah, there was a whole team like they're like IGN के पहले
Oh,
CSBD था.
that's something else then, because the CSBD I'm talking about, they had like Sparko and all. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, maybe it could be a clan, buddy.
Yeah.
It could be a clan. It
Yeah,
could be a
okay,
clan.
could be.
Yeah, CSBD. Because
Yeah.
I remember a few players. I don't remember. Like, yeah, they were using MNK on consoles and I just threw them out.
Oh.
Yeah. So, I
Ah.
remember.
Mm. Nah,
So,
but like.
So,
Bullet called the director. He was like, throw them out. Director was like, yes.
nah, buddy, I was such a noob guy back then. Like,
Uh-huh.
what operation
Okay.
that was? I remember, I guess it was Shifting Tides के एक season पहले. And that was my second.
कौन सा
और
क्या
ऐसा
what,
कुछ
like, which were the operators in Shifting Tides?
Shifting Tides
Shifting
में
times is Kali
Kali
and Wamai. Yeah.
Oh, that's still recentish. Okay.
Give
मतलब
or
like,
take.
2018.
yeah. Uh,
2018,
like
2019, this
Kali
thing.
was in 2019, yeah, because
2019.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
when
it
the
it was
main.
the same day where we hosted the ESL India, right?
DSL India, yeah.
yeah, yeah,
The
yeah,
It was
same,
the
the
yeah.
same
same week,
day
the
where
same
we had
week.
to even, yeah, it was the
Yeah.
same day where Shifting Tides was about to be released at that time, and at that
Maybe
time,
they were
yeah.
two. I don't know.
And it's been such a long year. I mean, now just reminiscing about it, it just feels
It's
it
only
just
been
gives you
5 months,
nostalgic
Baba.
feeling. 5 months, Jack. I'm talking about the LAN. I'm talking about the LAN part.
Oh, you're talking about the ESL Hyderabad land.
Yeah, I'm talking about the
Oh, I
ESL
thought you were talking
Hyderabad
about
LAN.
this year. You said it's been such a long year. So I was like, 2022. I mean, we're not even halfway through it yet. What do you mean?
I mean,
No leaks, please.
I mean this. I mean, we're not making any leaks at this point. I mean, talking
I
about Pro
hope
League.
not.
I mean, talk about
Yeah,
Pro League. Just
nothing's confirmed.
I'm just thinking at this point, after a few months or so, we might be able to see like huge changes coming in from the teams itself.
Hmm.
Orgs giving teams a chance, and if that works, and if we get more viewerships from that, then that means it will be huge.
Yeah.
I mean, you still have returning players. I mean,
Hmm.
yes, some
I
some
mean,
players haven't returned yet in their full
hunt
form,
like
but
if
yeah.
I were to interject here, if any org were to be looking to pick up a team right in our region, as it were, Hunter's LFO is like the most likely one to get picked up. Let's just get that out the gate
Hmm.
right now. They've been here for so long. These players in this region, I saw that bullet, the little lip sealed moment right there. Mm, mm.
Mm,
I'm not gonna press you on that. Obviously, it's your podcast after all.
No
But
man, go on. Like see, like I told, I'm not gonna be there. I'm just the middleman out there. I just say
yeah,
if you
yeah,
need
yeah.
if you need a manager, if you need a content creator, I'm the guy, man. Just like give me a small chance to. Yeah, I just said that, nothing else.
Yeah. No, but like Hunter's LFO, obviously the first team, probably the first team that's gonna get started, like 99% sure. Given their history, given the players' history individually as well, and given their overall performance metric in these last 2.5 years, they've been
True.
very
Agree
consistent,
with that.
very,
Agree
very
with that.
consistent.
Agree with that.
But other than that, obviously, Phalanx, I like they're not in org as far as I know. So Phalanx is a pretty nice team. They've made top 8 here. If they keep up a performance like this, they'll become a team that's gonna get scattered out soon. Shift W, I mean, the name speaks for itself. They're a pretty aggressive team when it comes to playing the game. But again, if they're consistent, and they're able to put up a presence in the region, I don't see no reason why they shouldn't be scattered out by an org and put given a place in the region. Once again, it's just like Baba said, I'm really looking forward to new teams shaking things up in this top 8 bracket. I don't necessarily know if it'll happen for the next edition 2, but by edition 3, I think there'll be a few names that'll be worth watching out for.
Yeah,
uh
Yeah.
because by
I think the same thing. By the
hmm,
second or the third pro series, you will see a lot of newer names, a lot of newer names. Because
yeah,
वो part होगा, like okay, the esports club is doing, because esports club got a lot of traction due to Valorant. CC will definitely agree. Back at the time,
yeah.
just esports club was doing only like siege events. Back at the time. Now due to Valorant, many of
CS.
yeah, due to Valorant, there's a lot of traction. So
Yeah.
yeah, maybe who knows, man? Somebody just approaches Ishan Arya and said, "Oh, okay, buddy, I wanna pick up, a C job. Who do you recommend?" This can happen. This can literally happen. And just few names. This can literally happen anytime soon. So I just feel in a way, yeah, man. Why not? Because the
Uh,
more bigger rocks will come in, like
there
fayda apne scene
is
ka.
okay, yeah, there is a negative side. I don't want to like say it, but I feel like it's moral duty. There is a
Go on, man.
chance with something like Siege. What can happen is something that happened to CS in South Asia, very
Hmm.
specifically, very specifically in South Asia. Otherwise, the majors are going on. I've been watching those, very entertaining. I love the CS, but yeah, even in CS, as far as I remember, my last memory of CS here being active was the one LAN I've ever attended in life, which was ESL India, whatever they called it. It was in Delhi. It was right before the pandemic.
2050.
It was like February
Acha. Okay.
2020, like
Okay.
Oh,
right
right. Yeah,
before
yeah,
it.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I
yeah.
went to the LAN. And the thing was, even in CS, they were well-known teams. I mean, Global had their own roster. There
Hmm.
Yeah.
was Too Easy
Entity.
Esports, as far as I remember. There was
Yeah,
Marzel's team.
yeah.
There were many organizations. Again, organizations with backing and stuff in CS. But CS just like pretty much, I mean, I don't see any CS from any of the tournament organizers. Being in the esports club, we haven't had anything CS.
Yeah,
Other
yeah.
competitors as well, there hasn't been anything. There is a chance that even with like big like organizations being there, it's the game. There is like a small part of me that is like a little scared because Siege is very
Hmm.
complicated. We all love
Yeah,
it for
Same,
that.
same,
that is
Yeah,
We, I
true.
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
same
us
here.
four here, the community,
Yeah.
we love Siege because of that. But there are many people who won't like it. CS is by far one of the simplest games. If that did not survive, then there are.
Yeah, no, I
But
definitely can
I
say like
agree.
but
Yeah.
wait one second. But this is
There's
where
always a
we
but.
have one ace up. Once again. Please. Give me 1 second. This
I
is where
heard that,
we have
Baba.
one
Oh,
ace
you
up our
actually
sleeves.
that's a Joker card though.
Brother, there's an entire deck in my hand. I couldn't bother finding
Yeah,
the
so
ace, but
basically, Jack CCV told us you just activated my trap card.
Oh no.
yeah, we have one ace up our sleeves that is a
Hmm.
mobile, Rainbow Mobile.
Rainbow
Oh,
Six
I
So
love
Mobile.
that.
we
Yeah.
need the in the
Yeah,
best.
I can just add to that part. Many of the guys, I'll just say, in the last podcast, I don't remember which podcast we were discussing. Like the chat was going all crazy. Like no disrespect to anyone, I respect everybody views that we are comparing a free to play game, a Valorant scene, within a paid game. I will give you an example. Apex Legends. I don't know whether I put it on the podcast or not. Apex Legends has a very big player base in India. Not that big,
Yeah,
but it's sufficient to just compare it out there with
we
Siege.
went international, no? With
Yeah,
some
yeah.
one
One was
team in the
their
most
coach was
recent
Fat
one.
Monster, who is a very well-known controller player, and I usually watch him. He plays on PC though. His their coach was an Indian guy. It was a mixed up org of, I guess, some C players and Philippine
Mm-hmm.
players. I don't remember exactly. So it's the
Hmm.
same situation now. When the Apex Mobile is here, I am an admin and just a helping guy of our Apex Legends India group. I see 100 or 200 posts in pending approval now. That much of a traction. Me and Nitesh was having a heat discussion on Foxy's group. Like he said, like, okay, मुझे नहीं लगता इतना traction आएगा, but I said like it will, because Apex is also a very complex battle royale game. Trust me on this one. The same kind of situation goes with Free Fire, but that is some other kind of game. But the abilities or the movement, they have adapted it pretty well. This is why I tweeted about it. Like after playing Apex Legends Mobile, the way they have like optimized and adapted and ported the game on a mobile phone, every element is there's nothing like, okay, आप मूवमेंट नहीं करोगे, इतना एम असिस्ट है कि आप मार लोगे, ऐसा नहीं है मतलब उनके फोन वाले वर्जन में। यू हैव टू बी प्रीटी गुड एट द मूवमेंट, यू हैव टू बी प्रीटी वेल नोन विद द एबिलिटीज ऑफ द लेजेंड्स एंड ऑल। So I just feel in a way, yes, R6 Mobile will bring in a lot of traction, but how it's gonna affect the overall esports scene, we are still unsure about it.
It's definitely a little unprecedented, I would say. Sure, the only big, like really big example we have is of PUBG and PUBG Mobile, right? And after mobile came
BGMI.
out, yeah, and after mobile came out and it became BGMI, everybody just
After
forgot
the
the PC
ban,
version even existed. Yeah, but when it comes to R6, I don't think anything like that is going to happen. I personally feel like, the mobile and PC scenes definitely have a chance to coexist. Depends on how well the game is translated over to
I have
mobile,
very
right?
two
I've seen,
strong points on this. Please continue.
yeah,
I'll back from Roshan. Please
yeah,
continue.
yeah.
Please continue.
Uh, all right, he's gone off to buy Siege again, folks. Don't worry, he's just rebuying the game.
Yes, he's
Um,
bringing Siege 2.0 to us, guys. Yeah,
but no, but like to say what I was saying, right?
yeah,
My basic thought process with R6 Mobile is if they're able to translate the game very, very well, and say like that, makes people interested in this in Siege. Like they might, some, not a lot, obviously not everyone, but a good chunk of them might see that, oh hey, there's actually a scene in our country that people are playing in, that there's competitions and some such, and that might actually help the scene grow. I mean, I definitely think coexistence is a possibility, and growth for both, while much more difficult, obviously, right, given that there's a very good chance one will just cannibalize the other.
Hmm.
But growth for both, if the effort is put in, which at least early I feel like it will be, because like we said, like I think you were the one who pointed out, CCV, it's a small community, the Siege community in South Asia, right, compared to literally all of the other communities out there in the world.
yeah, true.
The Siege community in South Asia is small, everyone knows each other, but that's the thing, it's because everyone knows each other and we love the game to the point where so many of our peers have dropped out, and yet we're still here, right, and we're still willing to put this effort into the game, at least for myself and Baba, right. Like we said, we talked about how we would just love to do siege casting again. It doesn't really matter to us how big of a tournament it is, just siege in this region, we want to see it grow. And there's that innate feeling within us, and I feel like a massive part of the scene, organizers and players and managers and content creators, so on and so forth, they share that feeling. And if R6 Mobile is able to, sure, the leaning mechanics and overall the effectiveness of crouch prone versus sprint and stopping and shooting and moving while shooting as well, all of that, translating that will be very difficult. And I've seen some early
Hmm.
videos from the closed,
Like
like the,
just wanna say, have you guys tried
yeah,
out Apex Legends Mobile, or have you like?
not yet. I haven't had the time
Garbage
this
I
morning,
will I
phone.
will
but
go like
don't
if you
have a
have
good
played a
mobile.
little bit of the PC port, like थोड़ा सा भी
Mhm.
idea है, if you just even like play 5 minutes of it, you will feel like how they like वो दिख रहा है कि इन बंदों ने काम किया, just not like a random PC port की like PC पे like sorry phone पे डाल दिया पैसे कमाने के लिए, because we all know how much of the money is to be made in
Fortnite.
the mobile sector. अरे बाबा एग्जांपल दे रहा था मैं तो हाँ तो it's the same like where Jajoti you said like imagine using gyro for lean. I think that will happen because gyro
Okay.
sensors plays a very big role in all of the mobile games, like even BGMI, as far as I know, in Free Fire as well. I tried Apex Legends, there was a settings like if you want to use gyro for like using doing the movements and all. And what Aizen said on the 30K part, my phone is like what, like 19K. That's not a very big like a like pricey phone. It has a very like a medium core processor. Apex Legends ran pretty well on it. I tried it, I streamed it using
Wait, what's the
my
specs
laptop.
for it? What's the specs for it?
Snapdragon 600 something. It's 2019 model, Realme XT.
oh wow,
So,
yeah.
yeah,
I
it's a
don't know
very
about
very
my
good.
phone. I have a picture of my cat here.
Nice
I
cat.
I have a picture of the upcoming operator, by the way, so I just keep it in
Oh
my
no.
CGs together.
Oh. Ari
I mean,
Bullet has bought
my phone
Rainbow
is
Six.
just
Now this is
cat.
why
Yeah, yeah,
he
yeah,
wants
yeah,
the new
The
operator.
operator is
Yeah.
already out, buddy. The
I
operator is
have.
already. So yeah, so I just feel like starting with like even Apex Mobile has some problem, but if like developers put out their work and optimize that, it will make an, because the casual audience, how much I have interacted, they are pretty bored of battle royale games. Yeah, Apex Legends is a
Nah.
very I would say a new game. Like everybody is getting attracted to it because of the mechanics, because it's just a random PC game which just came out to mobile. People also are excited about it. Okay, we are getting a chance to play the PC kind of game thing. So yeah, it's an attraction toward many of the kids. Now I want to add 2 points on that. What Baba said, like Rainbow Six Mobile. See, in our region, Hindi is widely known. Now here comes the two very I would say I said I have a good point. Loco, we all know the Tech Pro series and the
Hmm.
community events are getting streamed exclusively on Loco. If you open Loco, what are the main games and what are the main languages like which is attracting the bigger I would say viewership? You guys have been there. Download तो किया होगा Loco. You cannot deny that. And homepage तो जरूर खोला
Yeah,
होगा.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
It's mainly mobile only.
it's
I've
yeah.
it's mainly
seen.
mobile. Yeah, it's mainly mobile games, and the most of the content language is Hindi. I just personally
Yeah.
believe if this goes parallel, the regional casting thing, and if we get more content creators, because if R6 Mobile comes in, like take it for example, it comes in September only. Who the hell knows, man? It's globally announced in September. I still don't know the exact date. And
Hmm.
people who don't know about Rainbow Six Mobile just go in. Okay, I want to see Rainbow Six Mobile gameplay. Nobody's playing it. Nobody has that kind of videos who will like provide the gameplay. Like mostly it's in English. And
Bullet will.
see, like अरे यार मैं तो कंसोल पे खेलता हूँ आधे लोग ऐसे ही नहीं देखने आते
It's mobile. You will early access.
वो बात की
Early
बात है
access. Oh
बट वो
yes.
वो एक चीज रहेगा लोगों के मन में कि भाई मेरे को तो गेम सीखना है मेरे पास कुछ है ही नहीं देखने के लिए so if this goes hand by hand like see effort needs to be made from every perspective
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I just feel if we don't get more content creators I'm not talking about just Hindi only they are if you see open loco I remember there was a guy playing a GTA RP with almost 800 like what was that 83k or I don't remember 803k watching
83K. Okay,
it
okay,
could be
okay.
80 that was a pretty big
No,
number
no, it should
and
be
it was
83K only. Shouldn't
it
be
was in
800.
Tamil or maybe I don't know. It was some South
Yeah,
Indian language. Yeah,
The scene in South India is very big for gaming. I mean,
Yeah.
I
yeah.
remember there was a one organization I'd worked with like for just one like best of five Valorant Grand Final AKEF, and I remember they were
Hmm.
hosting an auction, just an auction
Yeah,
for
yeah.
a college Valorant like
Valorant.
tournament, a
And
college Valorant tournament, and it
I
was getting
also
like
remember that.
8K, 9K viewers. I was like, how is that possible? Okay, fair enough.
So yeah, this is
Yeah.
what I feel. If this goes parallel by parallel, I just feel like the whole ecosystem will grow very much by the end of the year 7, like by this year, and also very much like until when the Rainbow Six Mobile comes in. Cause I still don't find any guy playing from Pakistan, maybe from Bangladesh, or maybe for someone from Sri Lanka. Cause I know affording a streaming PC can be difficult. Like playing on the same PC and streaming it from it can be a difficult part, of course. But if that doesn't come by the time Rainbow Six Mobile comes in, of course, man, there will be many content creators who kind of typically put out videos like how to download Rainbow Six Mobile, working OBS, trick data. There will be content creators like this, but कि कोई एक ऐसा content creator जो game को सिखाए वैसा हमें चाहिए because Rainbow Six Mobile the way Apex and Mobile have been ported out pretty well अगर वैसा Rainbow Six Mobile भी बहुत अच्छे तरीके से होता है तो of course the game will be complex as it is the PC and the console version because I feel it's the same thing with Apex Legends PC and console version Apex and Mobile because I played it 1 or 2 hour and I love the way they have put in the hard work सब सारे mechanisms हैं the leaning mechanism the fast like lean wala nahi sorry the like the movements and all how you like climb up those walls and stuff ब्लड हाउंड मतलब हर एक एबिलिटी है हाँ उन्होंने कुछ कुछ लेजेंड्स नहीं डालने का सोचा है एक there is an by the way there's an exclusive legend for mobile platform
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I
I've
did
seen
see.
it.
Yeah.
Fade, I
yeah
think
the
is the
fade the
name.
thing it's kind of like a copy pasta version of you not gonna lie
Mm.
yeah it's a copy pasta version he fades into
Mm.
another dimension and he like teleports on all मैंने बोला भाई मैंने
Ah,
Valorant
okay.
खेला है मैंने योडू
I
जैसा है ये
mean,
पूरा ये तो
here's the thing. To be honest, for me, Fade kind of reminds me of Tracer from Overwatch.
Oh, really?
yeah
Yeah,
yeah
because she has the
yeah
same abilities. If you just
That is, yeah.
press the
yeah
ability, you just revert back to this previous location you once were. And also, I could say that he might be similar to Echo from League of Legends because he also has the same
I
ability.
haven't really go for
I
I
have
that
mean,
next
at,
to no
I
idea
mean,
about League of
I mean,
Legends,
at
so
this
I'm
point,
completely lost here.
at this point, what I'm trying to say is there are many abilities which has the same techniques, but it always comes down to how it portrays well. You know, if it looks flashy, if it looks so cool while doing it, maybe people would love to keep on using the same character over and over again. That can
Baba
work
I
is
as well.
mean,
basically justifying for being an Ashman.
Dude, here's the
no,
thing.
but
See,
like,
I
no,
don't
no,
main Ash. I don't mean Genji from Overwatch. In fact,
Oh
I only
no.
play support on every single game, CCB, all right? I only play support. Even on Apex
Uh,
Legends, I go lifeline. Why? Because
damn.
I have to save a life.
Mm.
That's all I
You
do in most
might
of the
as well
games at this
play
point.
Doc, in Siege.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing,
If you're
right?
gonna save, like, might as well take one as well.
I
But
mean, why dog when you can Thunderbird, dude? Come on.
yeah,
No, because then you
competition
spawn peek
stiff.
with dog.
Yeah, the Doc
You can
spawn
Ah,
peak,
also spawn people with
bro.
Yeah.
Thunderbird. I have done.
No, no,
I
no.
mean, you
I
can, but
mean,
who can
I'll,
really beat one
You
of the
are
OGs?
in South Asia. If you don't
Exactly.
spawn peek with
can,
dog in an official broadcasted match in the nationals, you have
you know,
not lived life.
you
Absolutely.
know what, CCV? In the
Absolutely.
next Rainbow Six match I play, I'm going to pick up Doc with a shotgun and go for
Oh
a
no.
spawn peek.
How are you gonna pull that off?
Dreams can happen.
Okay, I would love to see you try.
Who knows? Maybe I'll just
So
make a short clip of it and post it on YouTube.
do
Shotgun
it.
spawn
By
peek.
coming to
Do
the
it.
clips part, we
Yep.
हम एक बात पे थे, like when Baba Gusta said like attraction आने के लिए there needs to be, we talk about a lot about some of the clips out
Yeah.
there, but you see in Valorant for many these kind of content creators वो बस ऐसा tournament से like they clip on the clips, CCB you can definitely relate to it, and वो अपने channel पे डालते हैं. We don't have that also in Siege. अब मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है कि लोगों से उठा के मेरे को डालना पड़ेगा ट्विटर पे. So, like
I
we
mean,
can do it.
I could talk about the videos, like I could talk about the Sky Esports tournament, Valorant
Even
Cup.
I just
There were
feel
some
even
clips which was on YouTube.
हाँ, even I just feel कि जो players खेल रहे हैं, the players who are playing, if you pull off something very cool like that, like how Sparko does it, man. Sparko only uploads highlights and stuff. You can
Yeah.
also do it because it will just benefit you only, and it will like benefit all of the ecosystem of R6 SA. You put it out in Twitter, you put it on Instagram, anywhere, man. But like you just put it out there because ये काफी ज़्यादा matter करता है. Because I have been in touch with the UB peeps and they agree to this because they say like we don't find any content creators from SA. I'm like, yeah, that's true. That's true. That's not a very like ऐसा वो कुछ बोल रहे हैं avoid करने के लिए या फिर एक बहाना random दे रहे हैं. It's very true. You just go on and find someone playing Rainbow Six live in YouTube. You won't find anyone except me. That's the truth. That's the truth. And but it's probably 100 times saying in every podcast we need more
For content creators and all,
creators.
like, yeah, for content, as Lexard mentioned in the chat, and I said this in the previous podcast as well, the previous episode, is that I will gladly pay money to cast Hunter's LFO against MRCZ or MRCZ against Kira in Rainbow Six Mobile. I will pay money
अच्छा
Oh.
to
वो
cast that.
Oh
I need
yes.
that for
Oh
nationals.
yes. I
If
need to see that. Oh
if
yes.
anyone, yeah, if anyone can organize that
Uh,
as soon as the mobile thing launches, yes, I will pay to see to
I,
cast it.
I just love to see the reactions from all the players. Like, hey, we're gonna have a
it's
5v5. Oh, cool. What's the detail on mobile?
yeah, it is a
Right?
very
They
good
say
idea
it like that.
for doing it on a showman kind of event, like just
Yeah,
like I
show
said.
match.
It,
Oh,
it
that would
can
be
it
great.
can be done, man. If in
Yeah,
future
no,
Siege LAN happens and
so
we have
many
all
of the players, it will be entertaining, and so many of the players they can be coaches. I remember there were specific insults hurled towards people in the community in the past podcast, like all the retired players, they can come back as coaches for the mobile teams, and then
मैं बन सकता
all the
हूँ यार.
mobile players they won't know what's happened. And I remember like Ariel will do this 100%. He mentioned it, he'll do it himself. He'll coach some mobile team. He'll be like he'll bring a very well-known strategy in Rainbow Six PC. He'll give them, like, for example, the SSG room, like SSG clubhouse
Extended
room.
rooms,
They'll be
right?
like, "Oh my God, sir, this is some groundbreaking stuff you have on mobile."
Imagine all five players just applause and
Eh,
stands up.
Ariel, Ariel just profiting off of ripping off strats from the PC scene, just pepega.
Mm. Yeah, and in
I
the
will,
end,
this
I
he'll
will
say,
become a
this
coach.
is I also believe like ये होगा people will try to
Uh,
like copy off this is copying off, right? Only like copying off the PC strat and renting on the mobile, because sooner or later people will realize bhai hum log, because the PC scene when the six invitation happens that like attracts a lot of audience, And I believe like if there will be team like छोटे मोटे teams तो रहेंगे, the smaller teams will out there and doing their own kind of stuff, doing their own kind of small tournaments. They'll definitely like कोई तो ऐसा दिमाग वाला बंदा होगा. There will be a guy with big brain and like okay, I will implement this PC strat on the mobile. Of course that's gonna happen. Like फिर वो ऐसा conversation होगा कि one coach is making allegations, man, this coach is like right here like just copying pasta, the PC start I'm
But
making
in South Asia, thing is
masala.
everyone will have the same coach. So there will be one coach for PC, same person is the coach for the mobile team. We'll have MRCZ mobile, same guy as the
Yeah,
coach.
that's cause
Yeah.
because when I which interview was that? It was a mobile dev, like Sam, right? She's a content creator, host from South Africa. If
Okay.
anyone remembers, on her channel you can find the interview for the R6 mobile kind of the developer, and the
Yeah,
developer
yeah, yeah, yeah,
himself
yeah. I
said
remember.
the
Yeah.
developer himself said that that we want the PC players to when they are traveling and all of that stuff, and some kind of unique stuff comes into their mind, they can play it on the phone and then test it out later on the PC version. So that's vice versa that's gonna happen, right?
they're
That's
clearly
actually a
they're
good
clearly
idea.
playing
Yeah.
for like a coexisting ecosystem, so to speak. That seems to be the play, at least from both the dev side and the PC side. But again, it's going to depend on execution from all sides, like you said.
True.
Effort from all sides will be required to make it work.
If you just need the essay part, we all know what kind of like the BGMI, all of the price pool is in the international scene, the PUBG Mobile and all of that. Like इंडिया में नहीं हुआ, हमारे रीजन में नहीं हुआ, तो मुझे तो लगता है लाइक रेनबो सिक्स मोबाइल इंटरनेशनली तो बड़ा होगा ही होगा. इवन लाइक देयर आर
Hmm.
लॉट ऑफ लाइक प्लेयर्स आउट देयर ग्लोबली. आई जस्ट फील लाइक इमेजिन that kind of price pool, that kind of price pool for R6 mobile, man. That like
That would
it gives
be.
me little goosebumps, man. Just like that. Like it gives me goosebumps.
No, but it's definitely a nice thing to hope for. I will agree with you on that one. Just in general, to feel like yes, this region is growing. The efforts we've put in for so many years has paid off. I mean, imagine how someone like Foxy would feel. He used to be
True.
so active in our region. We barely see the man anymore. But yeah, so like I personally haven't had much contact with him, but a friend of mine has. As far as I know, Foxy is doing just fine. For anyone who's curious, he's chilling, he's
Fox is
thriving,
just
he's
fine. I
sort of
just want
in
to
his
add to
own
that.
lane.
He just bought a house for himself in Mumbai. I just saw the
Yeah,
story.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, and I man, I just ping to him because you have said it many times. And you, Foxy, Assassin, I used to look up as a caster. Like I wanna like someday cast like that and be on the same decks as they are. And just ping them, man. There's nobody like happier, another guy happier rather than you right now. Cause Jesse story that I'm like, bro, send me an address. I will be Mumbai in a month or so, maybe for some kind of event. I wanna come to your house, spend some time with you. Cause like man, like siege से we both started off like as a siege, and ऐसा देख के अंदर से खुशी मिला, man. Like he bought a house for himself in a city like Bombay.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
way
yeah.
too like
That is
like
very
like he needs
expensive place,
that.
Bombay.
Yeah, I know. Like it feels happy. Even the like Baba talked about the guys from Vector Esports. I remember watching the whole stream. I even pinged them or somehow I got the number. I don't know if I've said this publicly or not. Someone picked it up and I said, "Bro, big fan. I congratulate you guys for." I guess उस time मैं hostel में था, and everybody like Ritesh, I know he's working with an streaming app. I guess Cyan also is doing something. Like everybody is doing something like good in the same kind of space or like in some other industry. So yeah, it feels good, man. Even if they have moved out of the scene, they are doing pretty good in their lives.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, that's really all that matters, right? But what matters for us as well on a large scale is for, you know, just it's siege growing. I mean, a lot of us would feel really, really, really good about that. I know I personally would. And sure, I might not play the game as regularly as I used to, but that's more to do with like me
Same here.
having a lot more to do these days. For college final sem, it's kept me a lot quite busy, and I've
Same here.
like had a bunch of projects start on and off that I've kept busy with, so to
You are in
speak.
final year.
Yeah. Final
I'm in
sem
third year.
actually. It's like just a couple of
I'm in
months
third
left.
year.
Okay. But yeah, no. Overall, like even then, me and my friends, with Baba, sometimes we boot up Siege, and we're just chilling, casual, unranked. We don't really play ranked anymore. I try to avoid the sweat lords, but I know, but you can't really say that they're not at the end of the day. You go into ranked at the start of the season, it's like one of our friends, like he has had the biggest change in his like approach to siege, right? Because back in like year 3 and early year 4, you would have a new season start and within 2 hours he would be like 20 matches in somehow. Don't get me started on how he would do that. He would somehow be 20 matches in. He'd be like already mid gold and we'd be like struggling to keep up because we had like our own stuff to do and families to take care of in the pandemic, obviously. Um but like there was a time when that was such a like regular thing for us. Season
True,
starts
same.
that night alone we would play 10 placement matches. But now of course things have slowed down significantly. A lot of us just don't have that time anymore, and that's true for a lot of the community. Even like when the pro series, the whole circuit, when the announcement video came out that night, I remember me and Baba were casting Valorant that day. It just happened, like the days just aligned that way, no real issue on either side. But I was like watching Twitter and I was seeing a lot of the reactions. Like everyone was so excited. Kuntal, of all people, right? He's playing in Shift W, but before the announcement, if you'd have asked him that, do you want to play Siege competitively, he would have probably given you a lukewarm answer about any tournaments or whatnot. But this came, and he and his team are right back at it, right?
Yeah, I
And
had this chat with Kuntal. Yeah, I had this
yeah,
kind of chat with Kuntal. Yeah, I remember.
yeah. And overall, that just shows, right? But there was also that other side of the conversation that like I saw with Ariel, I saw with Hulky, right? I think I saw it with Alpha's Nexus. Their username is that. I don't exactly know their actual name. Um, but it was like, there was this sentiment of it's great that this is happening, but for some of us, it's just a little too late. We've already moved on, or we've already, gone into other pursuits. It's too late for us to come back, or it's a few years too late. And I definitely felt a little bit sad because of it, because some of those people, especially those people who used to play, right, especially those vector sports players, man, a lot of them had that same sentiment that, it's too late for us, but we are still excited that this is happening for the community. It just reminded me of those days when vector sports was like the name in the country. Their run on land, still one of the most iconic plays of our region, just to this day. I think Georgia pointed that out a little while ago, when we first mentioned vector sports and we were talking about the ESL Hyderabad land. But all things considered, it's really just, it's good that it's happening, and I would love to see some new names. But some of the older names that have gone, I mean, sure, in terms of skill you can match them, you can probably outclass them, but there's a charm to those names that once were, right? And CCV sheet brought back a lot of those memories for me earlier today, and that charm is very, very hard to replace, not impossible, all things considered. You're not going to get a second skipper. You're not going to get a second Cyan, right? But you can get a second player who's skilled in the same way, sure. But can you get the person back? No, they're in their own
Uh,
lane. They're happy, they're
uh,
thriving, and I'm
yeah,
happy
even
for them.
yeah,
So,
even when it comes to skipper, I remember the before I started streaming. See, before I got into the game, I was playing a lot of Paladins. I used to see that guy. Okay, I want to
mm,
see someone play, and he used to stream it all night, all
mm,
day on Twitch. So I
mm-hmm.
have another level of respect for skipper, man. And
Yeah.
sometimes he used
I
to come to stream. I remember that, like, yeah.
I just have to say that this monologue from Blackjack was more emotional than the entirety of Multiverse of Madness. So,
Oh my god, CCV.
Yeah, even just a random question, just a random question.
Yeah,
When it
bro.
comes to the peak of Rainbow Six Siege SA, what do you guys want to see? Question to you, Baba, Blackjack, and CCV. I'll put out my kind of peak. Like let's say it out in the public. Like, what do you
Hmm.
guys want to see? At what level? Like, you want to see something happening?
I'll let Baba start this time.
Yeah, Baba, start. You are being a
He's
statue.
been
Yeah,
he's been ice cream chilling this whole time.
exactly.
John Cena style. CCV knows exactly what I'm talking about. But like Baba.
Maybe I think I have to say voice warning because I'm about to say electrifying performance from the
Oh boy.
entire team on the side of South APAC. I know I just went from high to low immediately, but
Yeah.
what I expect is I want to see these teams give it all they've got. I mean, this is the Pro Series after all. They
Okay.
want to
Mm.
show what they've got, they want to show their performance, their talents, and I want to see them make clutches so bad, I mean, so good that that most of the players would just keep talking, like we just kept talking about Vector Sports' matchup, like you keep talking about that infamous matchup between UG versus MRCZ, the entire best of five where it went 7-2 on Oregon.
Oh boy.
Those kinds of matches, those memorable matches, those upsets, if we could find that same thing that we could see on Pro Series, maybe on this entire series that we have, that esports that the esports club has given us, then who knows, maybe there can be a huge spark that might come in into the community itself.
To follow up on that, I like obviously I expect that out of the Pro Series going down the line, right? But to me personally, it will all really be answered. All of those, you know, all of those hopes, if you will really only be answered once we hit the LAN, if or when we hit a LAN, right? I mean, nothing's
I'll
really
say more about this. Yeah.
solidified. Yeah, nothing's really solidified about anything yet. But nationals, if it is a LAN, the final national stage, then on that LAN, like the kind of presence, sure, ESL India, say what you will about whatever happened in the back end, there's plenty of stories of that, right? But the what it represented for our region back in 2019, when a lot of us were just getting into, or a lot of the teams were at their peak, if you will, that golden year of Siege, right, for South Asia, if it will. I'm not saying to match it, obviously, because that will take another few years of just continuous effort from everyone in the region, right? But this nationals, if it is a LAN and if it has at least a similar presence and feeling to what was the ESL Hyderabad series, right? For an outsider, for a viewer, for a player in the region who wants to see teams from this region but can't, maybe because players aren't streaming, maybe because there aren't enough tournaments, right? But if they see that on multiple platforms, YouTube, Twitch, because I mean, nationals, right? You got to do it on all the platforms. And even local, I'll throw loco in here because there are viewers on loco. Say what you will about the platform, there are still viewers there.
They're very big on that person.
For all of them, for the Rainbow Six players of our region to be able to see that would be a similar thing for how at least felt for me when I first saw the Hyderabad LAN. Because to me, that's what really made me believe, in Siege in the region, that
Okay.
yes, it is possible. We can pull views, we can have teams. Baba casted the whole thing himself. I mean, sure, he came in on short notice. That's pretty much public knowledge at this point. But he himself has admitted that at the very least, again, whatever happened on the back end happened, right? There's no real point arguing about that anymore. But we've talked about this before, and at the very least, what that represented, what that made all of us believe, right, going into 2020, that Siege in India, in South Asia, has a chance to be big. 2020, there was a lot going on for Siege, if you'll remember, right? There
True.
were orgs coming in and out, there were players coming in and out. The top 8 was constantly changing, if you will. Nobody was really top 3 back then. Only mercenaries had started to lay a stake to that claim that they were top 3 consistently. And later in mid to late 2020, that's when hunters, or back then UG obviously, came in and put their name on the table. And then Kita Esports came and put their name on the table when the mini majors became a thing because of the pandemic, right? Pandemic restrictions and measures had to be put into place. And it just started stagnating because again, we couldn't have that same experience, right? Pandemic is mostly to blame for that. Obviously, it was just an unfortunate situation that ended up deflating what was that huge hype. But if the nationals are able to stimulate a similar feeling in upcoming players, in players interested in mobile, who might see that, wait, there's a PC tournament going on, let me check this out. Obviously, not all of them will do that. There is no 100% translation for this. But if that does happen, right, then we might actually have something going forward. And I want that again, that feeling of being back in 2019, sitting with my friends, with Eyes and with George. We were at my house, I believe, when the LAN was happening, just watching, having a grand old time watching, talking about the players, yelling at the clutch moments. It's not, say what you will about majors, say what you will about invitationals, when it's players from your own region, it just hits different. At least that's how I feel.
Yeah, you CCV.
For me, it's a lot of things. For me, first of all, I need to, we need to properly see a team on the international stage. It
Oh
can be
yes.
I
Yeah,
mean, I'm not gonna
I put
lie,
it to
out
that.
of the rational choices, there are like three teams which have a chance. I mean, as much as I want
Same here.
newer players to be there, there are still three options. We have MRCZ, Kira, or Hunters LFO. Any team doesn't matter. It's not about the team, but it's about what they're bringing to the table.
Same
It's
here.
about
Same here.
all the hours, it's about all the journey they'll be bringing to the international stage. LAN in South Asia. I mean, I'm seeing this. I said this in the previous podcast as well. Nothing can be confirmed or denied at this very point,
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now, because the actual nationals they will happen all the way in October, November, still five,
There's a
six,
long way off.
There's a
There's a
long
five,
way.
long
six
one.
months. So there's a lot
Yeah.
that needs to be figured out. I mean, even if things like LAN, even if like LAN is happening, there are many things that have to be figured out. It's not like there isn't going to be. It's just nothing has been like finalized yet because there's
Yeah.
so much that needs to be finalized. For example, the thing is in Siege, there's so many
Sorry.
players in teams from like Pakistan as well, and
Yeah,
figuring
that's a
out
big
travel
deal.
for them and
That's a
all.
big deal.
It's a long thing. So it's not like I can say this from like being in TC as well. It's not like we don't want to do it. It's that we want to, obviously, but nothing can be confirmed because there's a lot that goes on.
Yeah.
But yeah, fingers crossed there is a LAN for nationals, or most likely next year there will be something only. But at the very least. But yeah, internationally, I need to see a team, and more so in South Asia. Bullet, as you said, the peak of South Asian siege. I need to see more inclusion from other TOs. I probably this is
Mm.
weird. I'm seeing this given that a lot of them are kind of competition. But like, as long as more big name TOs jump in who have audiences, who have people
Yes.
who will watch them regardless of what they're putting out. Like it's not just whatever they're putting out. If they're putting out BGMI or Valo, Free Fire, whatever, people are watching them. People are watching them as long as as long as they go on to youtube.com, they see subscriptions, they see a stream, they click on it.
Yeah.
TOs with that kind of audience, we need to see more tournaments like that, and only then can we have like a solidified peak of
Yeah.
Rainbow
Yeah. For
Yeah.
sure.
Six.
For sure.
I just feel थोड़ा सा question गलत वे में चला गया because Percy messaged me something, but from my side, I want to see definitely. I want to see someone from our team making it to international. Like say, I want to say Siege Invitational kind of thing. I want to see a team out there in Siege Invitational from my region. I want to see a caster from my
Bullet ka
region
team.
putting. Abe, I want.
Yeah.
I want to see a caster from our region on the S side does what's that's gonna be like, put it out on a better stage, because they are casters from like example है like Siege Invitational के desk पे बहुत सारे ऐसे जिनके region में उतना active siege नहीं है, but there's a caster on the like on the desk specifically for English baiting for any language. And then I want a content creator from my region, to be very honest, कि उसका एक charm हो in game, like it needs to be there. वो एक peak mark होगा. I just personally feel it will take, it's gonna take a lot of time अगर सही
No, but
direction में
Bullet
गए तो.
है तो you have your own charm now.
हैं?
Is the bullets. It's the bullets in the gun.
No, to be honest, there is actually a bullet casing charm.
Oh yeah,
in
there is.
game.
Yeah.
Maybe if
I
we just
didn't.
write, maybe if we had a little bit of an engraving which is written as bullet crazy.
So I
crazy,
just want कि अगर
bullet
if these
crazy.
these kind of things happen, maybe we can just say that day, okay, we wanted this kind of things to happen, and that day we can proudly say that man, Siege has grown in. So yeah, I guess we don't have the time to discuss, guys, the Operation Vector Glare जो मैंने
Oh
tweet पे कर दिया
no.
था. Yeah, because CC wants to go, but I just want to say, yeah,
Why
I
is it
cannot say.
very long? Next episode I will be there.
Yeah, I just want to
Just
add.
we drifted way too fast, man.
I just want to add 4 points to that. There's a
Okay.
new team deathmatch match deathmatch
Yep.
Oh,
map
yeah, the
incoming.
Greece
That is
map,
very
yeah.
The
yeah.
map.
That's the Greece map.
New
Many of the
weapon.
creators. There's a new weapon out there, of course. There's a very big competitive rule chain that's gonna come. Yeah, I cannot put it out there because before the reveal, there can be a small one. From my perspective, it's a very big one. But I
Okay,
just
okay.
feel in a way it's gonna make the whole meta kind of thing in the competitive side of things थोड़ा सा fast कर देगा चीजों को. It's interesting. It's interesting.
See,
Trust me. It can
now,
be. It
like
can
the
be.
reveal the reveal had my curiosity, obviously, right? It's a
Huh.
seed reveal.
Because if you guys
Now it has
remember,
my attention.
if you guys remember when the year 6 started,
Yeah.
before the crystal got said, everybody in the reveal panel said that they are working towards, like, changing the meta of the jo end ke 15 seconds mein, like everybody just rushing towards the
Yeah.
side.
Right. Yeah.
They are
Yeah.
working towards it. And in Operation Crystal Guard, the OSA was their first answer to that. If you guys can,
Right.
put it out there,
Right.
because I'm not very good with
Yeah.
English. So वो एक उनका एक answer था. So this kind of rule change will definitely, I just personally feel, थोड़ा सा change करेगा the overall like pace of the Rainbow Six esports globally. But yeah, this change you have to wait it till this Sunday. And yeah, Operation Vector Glare feels good. They have added very good kind of quality of life changes for consoles as well as PC. So yeah, the game जो उन्होंने बोला ना, like year 7 is do or die for Siege. I feel in a way they are working towards it pretty well, because whole of this pandemic situation is kind of over globally, and the people are now able to go towards the studio and work together as a team properly now, what they have said. So I just feel कि हाँ हो जाएगा ये चीज, but we have to like wait it till the full reveal, man. I cannot say that before.
Yeah. No, there's NDAs and whatnot. We don't want to. We don't want to reveal too much. Get this poor guy in trouble.
2.3k subs guy
Uh,
getting, man, this is one massive thing for me. Imagine me as a 2.3k subs guy, you be just coming in, hey man, I'll give you the creator access, जो भी बनाना है बनाओ, कुछ भी content डालना है डालो, we don't care, we just feel you deserve it. मेरे से इससे बड़ी बात क्या हो सकती है, man? I have put my heart into the game, man. 4 years streaming without anything. I don't care, man, how many views I get. I'm just gonna make it. Like हाँ, जब तक जाने तब तक siege में content बनाएंगे, जब तक जाने तब तक बनाएंगे, ठीक है. So yeah, any ending notes, Baba? Because you are being the John Cena, so I just want to. So
I mean,
if you guys, I will give you a guess, Baba. Like before, okay, please complete. I wanna end this. Like
No. Like I was just going to end it short because most of the topics that I have to say, it's already been covered up by Jack and CCV. So for me,
next
there's
time you be
nothing
the
more to say.
host. Next time you be the
Oh
host.
my.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh my.
You put him
Be
on the spot
hosted.
now.
Damn, that's tough.
Yeah, next time you be there. So if I like I want you to guys to like the जो मैंने change बोला, like there's a competitive rule kind of change. Can you guys guess it? Like क्या हो सकता है? Like what's gonna be?
Is it just in ranked?
No. Global competitive change, rule change.
Like in the rule book, basically, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
You have like what? I will give you 3 minutes of
if yes, okay. If a player disconnects, the broadcast automatically goes into be right back. Yes.
ठीक है
I
भाई.
need that. I need that.
Oh yeah. To be honest, we actually do.
I
Need
mean, yeah, no, me like Pro League 2, I still remember that finals day. My goodness. It was a great couple of matches for the final day, but we had like, what, 4 hours between the matches? And like for those 4 hours, there was a solid 1 hour split between the two that
Yeah.
me and Baba were just blabbering on constantly.
We just kept talking about non-stop for the past
Yeah.
1 hour because of one technical
Your
reason.
guesses,
So,
guys. Don't Tokyo Drift. Your guesses.
yeah,
No, I
guesses.
have
I mean,
nothing.
I mean,
I'm running in the 90s right now. I have no idea.
Okay.
maybe it's defenders repick. I
Yeah, I
guess.
do like that from Neil,
I
the
don't know.
Oxard.
Defenders.
Uniform switch in game.
I mean, I'm just. I don't
Maybe,
even know. I'm just guessing at this point. Defenders
maybe
repick isn't
like
even a thing. Oh,
maybe
what
Good,
are we
like-
good
talking
guesses.
about?
Good
Yeah.
guesses in the chat, but you have to wait before I say yes or no, because I don't want to be in trouble. Because
okay.
I don't want to be. Few good guesses in the chat. Few good guesses, and trust me, when they say it like it's do or die for C, I personally believe that the devs are also working towards it. So these are some good changes that's gonna come. जो ऐसा push
Oh yeah,
करेंगे.
I think I have another idea. Like, what about slots? Like observer slots.
Oh, I need
That would be
that.
That
good.
needs to
That
be
would be
there.
good.
Observer
That needs
slots
to be
is
there.
very important.
It's
to
very
me.
important to
Yeah.
be very honest. That's very important. The multi-observer slot. Valorant में it's there, na?
Yeah,
Multi-observer
Yeah,
you
slot.
have
You
like
have, like,
12 slots total,
You
I
have
think. Yeah.
10 for observers, and then
10.
you have two
Right.
for coach.
2 for coaches, yeah.
Man,
So technically, you can have around like 24 players in one lobby.
That's a lot.
damn. Yeah,
like
good
with
guesses
10
in
being
chat.
spectators.
Good guesses in chat.
Free
Free
cam.
cam,
Oh, I would
yeah,
love
good.
that.
Oh, free
Do
cam.
you
I
have
love
any
free
idea
cam.
how many shorts I can put out from my regular Rainbow Six experience
Oh
just
yeah.
with free cam alone? Like, there's so many clips I take on a daily basis when I'm playing Siege that I just can't use because the angles I want aren't interesting enough. The replay helped with that. I've used a couple of replays in some of my older videos when I still made Siege content. But if they add free cam to the replay system, content creation pog, I would say.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
yeah. Because I remember giving the clips out to like what DC, and he said, "Bro, you have to come in custom, come and hold the gun like this for like what 1 hour." I
Yeah,
said,
I've
Yeah,
done
yeah.
that. I've
"This
done
is
that.
how
I've done that.
this is
Yeah.
how the
Yeah,
monkeys
yeah,
are
yeah,
getting."
I've done
I
that.
remember. Yeah.
Fuse ultimate. You
हाँ
hold
कुछ भी
this
Yeah.
and then
हाँ.
Fuse is the ultimate cameraman because like he doesn't have a surface to put it on. It's just so low. You can just crop it out. It's so good.
हाँ
exactly.
I
हाँ
mean,
हाँ.
what's even best is that we don't use pulse for it. We just be like, yeah, fuses cluster charge. I mean, it doesn't do
I
anything,
mean,
but
if
help us
you
make some cinematic reveal.
no, but if you want like a scanner filter, Pulse is your go-to op, honestly.
Hmm. I mean, but
But
when it
you could
comes
just
to
overlay a
content
scanner filter
creation,
anyway. So
no, but when it
yeah,
comes to content creation, free cam is
it's
very.
very good.
It's
I mean,
it
in
will
general, in
skyrocket the
general,
entire montage.
in general.
Aizen, I didn't reveal anything. It's not free cam, by the way. It's not free cam. I
Okay.
can confirm that.
No,
Chalo,
I
I
think
just confirmed.
yeah,
It's
I think that's him just trying to he's trying to poke
it,
you,
yeah,
basically like,
yeah,
"Bonk, bonk," you know?
yeah. We can host like when the reveal is about to get, and we can definitely get in some matches because there's not a lot
Mm,
happening in the R6 essay. To be very honest, that needs to be discussed on the podcast. So there
yeah,
needs to be something to talk before we can host. And that
yeah,
before, like, I was waiting for the pro series to happen before I ping him on the essay
yeah,
podcast group.
yeah.
Like, okay, let the pro series get on. We get some content around it. Yeah, cool, man. So this
All
was
right.
it, guys. Any ending notes from anyone?
Honestly, like,
Um,
fun times, as it were. I
yeah.
was like, me and Baba were here on this podcast for the first episode. We're back on the fourth. We'll come by a little bit more
Yeah,
frequently when
guys.
we're a bit more
Yeah,
free.
just to add to that, it's nothing like nobody can join in. It's just 4 people.
Yeah, like anyone
Anyone
who
wants to,
wants.
like,
Anyone
anybody
can
wants,
join.
just please hit me up
I
on
think
Twitter. I've been like,
we had Hulky right for the last one,
Yeah,
episode
we
four?
yeah,
had
it fought
Yeah,
Hulky.
for the
Yeah,
fifth
yeah,
Yeah,
one.
I won.
yeah,
yeah.
we
I
had
won the
Hulk.
professional
Hulky,
players, man. I won the
Ariel.
pro players. I won the
Some of the
pro
pro
players.
players
I
have
wanna.
been great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanna see.
Hul-
Like,
Yeah.
I'm definitely. I want some of the like what community cup winners or maybe someone from the pro series perform pretty well. I wanna interview them. I wanna ask few questions. That will help us like just like throw us exposure for me, for my channel too, for them too. Just that's it. So guys, this was it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. This will be Baba Blackjack, Baba Gusta, and Rudransh Mehra, aka CCV, aka the Variant Caster, and your Hindi caster Bullet, signing off with today's podcast. See ya. Good night. Happy wall banks, happy siege, and yeah, enjoy the Vector Grid operation. Just plugging in the UB sponsor stuff. Make sure to tune into Operation Vector Glare Reveal on Sunday. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Take care.